Trump says he's not ranting, but this press conference was a great example of a speech littered with all the things that he's been focused on for a long, long time. Is he capable, really, of staying completely on message here?
No, of course not. This was not a press conference, first of all. This was a campaign rally speech. He even had his supporters there at Bedminster, and he fooled the press once again, by claiming he was going to have a press conference. He spoke for 45 minutes before he even allowed a question to be asked. And when he did, he was just filled with lies over again. He said this,
This dude looks sus. He looks sus. He looked like he might even have the three-letter human immunodeficiency virus. He looks that way. Just saying.
Made this comment about, what is it, more than 100% of new jobs that are created.
I'll play it. So just so you don't have to paraphrase what it was. Listen.
Virtually 100% of the net job creation in the last year has gone to migrants. You know that? Most of the job creation has gone to migrants. In fact, I've heard that substantially more than beyond the number of 100%.
Beyond a number of 100%.
I guess I need my calculator so I can go shoplifting with Donald Trump, because clearly you can't have more than 100% of jobs going to migrants. You can't even have 100% of new jobs going to migrants. It's not only mathematically impossible, it's just plain stupid. And how does this guy get taken seriously? How is it that he is a presidential candidate for the highest office in our country when he can't even complete a press conference without spewing lies and misinformation and obvious falsehoods?
If you want to talk about misinformation, we can talk about Kamala Harris's Google ads, like literally taking headlines from mainstream media and rewriting them, which should be against Google ads policies. But what's stupid is allowing criminals, to go into stores in California and not being able to arrest them unless it's $900 or $950 and more.
The problem is that's not actually what's true.
And you see
that's not
videos
actually
of
what the
people
law is.
going into stores in these blue cities and blue states, stealing merchandise and not being stopped. We've all seen these videos.
So should Donald Trump not be allowed to go into a store because he's a convicted criminal?
Well, I don't think anybody at this table should be surprised that Donald Trump stood up for 45 minutes, an hour or more, taking questions, giving a speech, because if you're holding your breath for an Oscar nod that he did that, don't hold your breath, because no one's going to believe you. This is what he does. He stands, he gives speeches, he takes the questions, he gives the answers. And to date, more than 3 weeks in, Kamala Harris hasn't given a single interview. She hasn't come on your program. She's not answering questions.
It's
She's not
Kamala,
giving
first
speeches.
of all. It's not Kamala. It's Kamala. And she's not yet the candidate. She's only been in office.
Did you hear this clown? Why is he correcting her? It's Kamala. It's not Kamala. What the fuck? What does that have to do with anything? Any policies or anything? And they're going to continue to do this. Censor myself. Nonsense. Look at these sensitive ass men. Where do these men come from? I don't know any men like this. And if I meet one, we're gonna have a problem. Watch this.
Has only been a candidate for 3.5 weeks.
She's been vice president for 3.5 years.
Yeah, and Trump went a whole primary season without even doing a debate.
And
So
half of America
but you can't.
isn't stupid because the Republicans in this country
But it's a
voted
false.
for him, nominated him. She didn't earn a single vote in the Republican.
Yeah, but
in the Democratic
it's
primary
a
here,
false
in the Democratic
equivalence between what Donald Trump is doing as an autocrat, as a fascist, as a dictatorially
not a
inclined
fascist.
man. The man's
that's crazy
aspirations
talk.
are huge. But the point is that Donald Trump has lied so repeatedly that we normalize his mendacity, his misogyny, his hatred for the ordinary citizen who happens to think logically about these issues. Now, he's got a whole bunch of stuff from the stores up there. He doesn't refer to it. His economic policies are vapid. They are empty. He has nothing to say to
She has no
these people.
policies on her website
And then
at all. She She's got more
the
Zero
pronouns.
policies and 9
Donald
pronouns
Trump
on her website.
sits there and tells lie after lie, and he gets normalized by good people like y'all who don't call him out on his bull.
Kamala Harris has more pronouns on her website than she does policy. The only thing she has on there is donate. She's running a Seinfeld campaign. The show is about nothing.
No,
But-
absolutely.
And she's winning, right?
Here-
So,
here's the-
yeah.
here's
She's
the
not
other
winning,
thing.
actually.
But remember, she's aided and abetted by mainstream media. If you saw the headline by a neighboring network a couple weeks ago, when Donald Trump came out with his no taxes on tips policy, all of the headlines on mainstream media were derogatory. Kamala Harris comes out with her no taxes.
Kamala.
Harris comes out with her policies on.
See, these so-called men, Kamala, correcting what she said. This is America. Her name is fucking Kamala. Is the same as that WWF wrestler from back in the day. Kamala, the Ugandan giant. Shout out Jericho Green. Kamala. They're not even paying attention to what she's saying, as they're only paying attention to when she say this lady's name, and they want to correct her because they look at it as a way of they actually look at it as racist. That's the way they look at it, which is no way racist, because prior to now everybody called her Kamala, but now it's Kamala, and that's what y'all are sticking to. And the reason that I do these things is hopefully this will reach someone to understand what is really going on here. This lady is very book smart. This lady, Kamala, can really stick to a test, and a rigid set of standards says you're going to choose A, B, C, or D. But when it comes to just common sense and just if someone asks a question off the cuff, this lady is a dummy. She is a dummy. She has a script and she sticks to a script. And what is that? What is the relevance of that is she can be manipulated. She does whatever someone tells her to do. And that's exactly what she's doing. As for being a leader in this particular position, the president of the United States, the most powerful person in the world, I don't want my leader to be like that. I want my leader to take counsel of their advisors, but at the end of the day, the position and ultimately the goal is you're going to make the decision. Of course, put people around you that are very smart and schooled and whatever position that you put them in, but that at the end of the day, don't do what they say. Do what you know is right. And that is not Kamala.
On no taxes on tips, which is Donald Trump's policy, by the way, all of the headlines on mainstream media were positive and glorious and thoughtful.
I guess y'all are
It's
standing
just a
up for him
different
because he didn't
standard.
say any of this today.
Well,
Everything
this
you're
is
saying
this
is
a
nothing he's
question.
ever said.
One of the things that we learned about her policy that she's going to roll out is support for a ban on price gouging. Now, I think reasonable people would ask, what does that mean? What does that really mean? And how is the government going to be involved in it? Here's Noah Rothman in the National Review. He describes this policy as a rank pander to the economically illiterate. And despite the presence of many who fit that description in Congress, they understand that allowing the executive branch to functionally set prices is a brain-dead idea that would only hurt consumers in the long run. I mean, is this just a ploy? Because it sounds kind of like it.
Well, look, you know, if you like it, it's called good policy. If you don't like it, you call it pandering.
But is it really policy? I mean, price gouging?
Look, if she could do that, Lord have mercy. I mean, she might need to be the Pope as opposed to the president, but she's able at least to set the tone. Here's what's important. First of all, in terms of Kamala not speaking about, Vice President Harris speaking about issues, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Everybody has said that.
And he just said it right there. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because in the free market economy, which is what we have, you can't fix prices. Because you know what happened? If you just break it down to the very last compound. Shout out BDP. If you tell a company or a manufacturer, you must keep this price at this, you know what that company's going to do? They're just not going to manufacture that product. So now you don't have that product anymore, as opposed to supply and demand. Let the market dictate what's going to happen. Now, you would be naive to say that some companies probably do jack their prices up to a certain amount, this, that, and the other. But the bottom line is consumers are not going to buy. Because I know a lot of people are like me. There's just certain things that I'm not going to buy. I can't afford these things. There's just certain things on principle. Okay, that's just fucking ridiculous. I'm just not going to buy that. You know, I don't even really eat bread. I don't like bread. But for some reason, I was shopping and I wanted to make me a steak sandwich. I was looking at the prices of these buns and these things like this. I could afford it. It was no problem. But the prices of these buns, I was like, man, get out of here. I'm not buying this shit just on principle. And I know there's a lot of people out there like me. So my point is, the free market will take care of itself. You can't fix prices because it hurts the consumer at the end of the day. You just can't do it.
What she is doing is genius in the sense she's out-Trumping Trump. So Trump is
Her
pissed.
campaign is being operated from a basement.
Well, hold on.
She's
Let me
not
just
out there.
finish.
She's not answering
Trump
questions.
is being
She's not doing anything.
Trump is being undermined by Trumpian-like politics in the sense that what she's done is, I understand when I'm going to speak, I understand what I'm going to say. She's going to form her policies and she's going to articulate them. Now, whether we agree with them or not is another thing. The point is, the strategy is not backfiring on her. Number two, in terms of polls, the polls are a statistical dead heat. You say that means that she's losing. I'm saying for Donald Trump to have already been president once and coming back with the same reruns, Donald Trump is in a very vulnerable
Talk
position.
about rerun. Kamala's.
You had it right. You almost got it.
I will say
almost
Kamala's
did
name
it.
any way that I want to.
No,
but Kamala.
you missed.
And again, these fucking dummies are still caught up in the pronunciation or the enunciation of the way that she say her name.
Announcer, you also misjudged.
I just did, and I'll do it again.
mispronouncing her name.
That's a refusal to acknowledge her humanity.
If I purposely,
One at a time, guys.
if I purposely mispronounced your name, that would not be appropriate.
Policies are Joe Biden's policies. She owns it.
You're normalizing.
All right, I have a problem. This guy right here, I gotta rewind. This guy right here, yeah, me and him need to meet in the boxing ring because, yeah, ooh. Who raised you? Your mother? Yeah, I'm sure you. But at some point, that light should have came on. Oh my goodness, bro.
In any way that I want to.
No,
but
you mispronounced her and you also misjudged her.
I just did, and I'll do it again.
mispronouncing her name.
That's a refusal to acknowledge her humanity.
If I purposely mispronounced your name, that would not be appropriate.
Policies are
Shut
Joe
up.
Biden's policies. She owns
You're
it.
normalizing
33
that kind of
times.
viciousness, man.
33 times.
But it's the-
she
You're
was the
disrespecting
deciding
her.
vote.
She was the vice
on
president,
Joe
though.
Biden's bill. She
we
was
know
33
that-
times the deciding vote on Joe Biden's bills in the Senate.
Yeah, let me just say this, because this Congresswoman is a wonderful human being, but when you disrespect Kamala Harris by saying you will call her whatever you want, I know you don't intend it to be that way. That's the history and legacy of white disregard for the humanity of black people.
So now you're calling me racist.
I didn't say. I just said
that
you weren't a
is
racist.
BS. That is complete
No, you don't
BS.
have to intend racism
No,
to
no.
accomplish
You are
it.
intending that I
Your
am
disrespect
racist,
of Kamala
and
Harris
that is
part and parcel of a
why can't
tradition
you just-
of disrespect.
Why
It's
can't you just,
offensive,
Congresswoman,
and it's,
why can't you
it's
just,
offensive.
why can't
I'm not calling you a racist. I'm saying what the practice is
You
racist.
are. You
Why can't
absolutely
you
are.
just
The practice is
Let me-
racist.
let me get in here.
No, what's disgusting
That
is
is
your
disgusting.
disrespect of her.
Professor.
This gentleman said,
You know what?
I
You know
didn't know
what's
her name.
disgusting
He's
to
trying
women
to do
is
it.
her disrespect of women. She doesn't know what a woman is. And if 25 years ago,
White women don't have the ability to tell black women who paid the price of blood to make this country what it is, to tell them they're not real women.
25
They
years
care
ago,
for your babies
25
and
years ago,
respected
I
your
became
humanity.
the first woman to graduate from the Citadel, the military college of South Carolina. I
So call her
fought my
name
way
right.
through it.
So pronounce her name
blood,
right.
sweat,
Let
and
me
tears.
actually
pronounce her name
and
right.
Kamala Harris, if I were a man,
You said
I
this.
Look at this. All they're talking about is the pronunciation of her name. This is a clown show. Who are these men? Who are these weak ass? Oh,
I'll call you Nancy
What
Pelosi.
I want.
It's
Come on,
Kamala.
it's
You're
Kamala.
doing
You
this on
disrespect-
purpose,
I am
That's
Congresswoman.
disrespectful.
Just a second.
You can't expect people to
If
respect
a
your
man
service
put on
if you
a
don't
skirt and
respect
walked
hers.
that stage 25 years ago, she
You're a
would have
white
said
woman
it. She would
disrespecting
have
a
taken
black
that
woman. That is
achievement away from
problematic.
women.
Professor
That's
Dyson, let me get
disgusting.
it.
Tonight, the scramble is on to mitigate the fallout from the North Carolina gubernatorial.
so when you have nothing to add to the debate / argument, then you're gonna go to ancillary things that mean absolutely nothing. Pronounce her name right. Pronounce her name. This is an old dude. That dude got to be in his 50s or 60s at least. And he's sitting up here debating this woman on the pronunciation of her name, as opposed to what her policies are gonna be if she becomes the president of the United States. That's where we're at today.